right, we are 7 minutes deep. If you're just joining us, we're live, Mount Saint-Sauveur, Quebec. This is the 10th anniversary Ride Shakedown presented by Videotron. And by the joys of modern technology, all of you around the world, all 4 of you that are listening, we can check out the Ride Shakedown together. Now here's how, if you don't understand the history of the Ride Shakedown, let's start there. That's probably a good place to start. First off, my name's Pete Anderson, and I'll be calling play-by-play for most of the evening, letting you guys in on what's happening. But first and foremost, the Ride Shakedown, 10 years deep, has kind of rewritten the rules as far as snowboarding contests go. First and foremost is the format. Now, the way it works is these riders they've got an hour and a half to throw down 3 judged runs. Now, they can practice as many times as they want, or as little as they want, and then when they're standing up in the start gate, they've got to turn to one of the judges, one of the officials, and basically say, all right, this is going to be one of my 3 judged runs. And then from there, call the trick that they want to do off the jump, and also call the trick that they're going to do on the rail section. If and when they stomp said tricks, they are not able to use them again in a judged run. So 3 judged runs, 50% of the score is on the jump, 50% of the score is on the rail section. Your top 2 runs of the 3 are then combined, giving the overall score, and that's how we will be choosing the Ride Shakedown 2011 champion. So, not that confusing when you get right down to it. You're seeing a lot of practice runs. These guys have, as you can see right there, 1 hour, 21 minutes, 45 seconds to dial in their runs and try to lock down 2 solid runs. Back-to-back tricks, 1 on the jump, 1 on the rail. And again, the weighting at 50-50 means that you have to stomp both the jump and the rail. All right, so you've watched a couple of these guys coming through, checking out the jump, checking out the rail. Let's go through our 10 finalists here. Yesterday, we started with the prelims. Earlier today, we had the semifinals, and we've narrowed it down to 10 riders to see who's going to take home a chunk of this $35,000 prize purse. Our first rider up, Alex Quentin. He's from Quebec, alongside his associate, Antoine Truchon. Third up, we've got Francis Bourgeois. And then from Whistler, we've got John Versteeg. And also from Quebec, Julien Beaulieu. Mats Kulisek is also here in the final. He got 2nd place in the Ride Shakedown we had earlier this year in Germany. And he also got 2nd place in the Rail Jam Summit at Snoqualmie. And now he also won the Coors Light Rail Jam that we had here last night at Mount Saint-Sauveur at the Ride Shakedown. So he's going to be a guy to watch out for. Also from Quebec, we got Maxence Perrault. One of the favorites, 2-time winner, looking for his 3rd title. He's coming off a stellar year. Gold at X Games in slopestyle, silver at X Games in the big air. He also got a silver in the slopestyle over at the Euro X Games. And he also won overall male athlete at the Winter X Games down in Colorado earlier this year in February. None other than hometown hero Sébastien Touton, or Seb Toots to his friends. We also have, rounding out the final 10 here, Seth Hill from Jacksonville, Oregon, and also Zachary Stone from just down the road, coming from Collingwood, Ontario. So now there's no set lineup, as I went over earlier. These guys, they can take as many practice runs or as few practice runs as they'd like, and just merely need to call out when they want their runs to be judged, what tricks they're going to do, and then ideally stomp them and make it happen. Post 2 big numbers out of those 3. Those will be combined, and that's how we will find out who will be crowned the 10th anniversary Ride Shakedown, presented by Videotron, of course, champion. So I don't think we have any judged runs that have gone down yet. On course, one of the favorites, hometown hero. He's from just down the road here in Quebec. This is Sébastien Touton, 18 years old. He was saying earlier during the semifinals he was having a little bit of trouble with the jump. Felt it may have been a little bit flat. It almost felt like, quote, being thrown out of a building, unquote, on the landing. The specs on this jump, 30 feet from base to lip, 65 feet to get across the knuckle, and probably a solid 80 feet if you want to make it to the sweet spot. And there you go. That was John Versteeg, Whistler Zone, showing us how to take it to said jump and rail. So 50% of the score comes on the jump, 50% coming on the rail. So both equally as important if your math skills are as poor as mine. 2011 Ride Shakedown 10th anniversary, presented by Videotron. Some other sponsors that most certainly have to call out here. Push.ca, your online source for anything and everything skateboarding and snowboarding. These guys, they hosted the halftime show here at the Ride Shakedown. And what they do is they set up a drop-in ramp, put wood across the takeoff, wood into the landing, and some of the best skateboarders in the country took on the King Trail. Gapping, hits the kink on the 50-50. Matt Kulisek showing us some of the poise and skill that have earned him a Ride Shakedown title in the past. Got him second place in Germany, first at the Summit at Snoqualmie Rail Jam, and then also at the Coors Light Rail Jam we had here at Mont Saint-Sauveur last night. Dropping it right now, Vermont native Yale Casino. This guy, a bit of an urban shred dog. Definitely no stranger to taking air, though. You can really see Yale shine when he comes into the kink rail here. Front side board all the way down. Yale spending this year actually without an address. He is spending the year on the road, living out of his car, living out of his suitcase, living out of hotel rooms, and also surfing on friends' couches. I got a little sit down with Yale Casino a few days ago, and that'll get published on push.ca in just a couple days. You can see what he's been up to and why he loves the Ride Shakedown so much. He hasn't missed one in 8 years. That's a pretty serious commitment coming from Yale Casino. Backside 9, the big gap, backside left slide. Oh, getting hungry early. We are yet to see anyone in the past 2 days try that transfer. I'm going to call it the Videotron Transfer of Doom, because that is a solid 40 feet to go from lip of jump to, well, lip of cheese wedge, I guess, over to the down rail. Not to mention, you got to make sure you avoid that Videotron VIP area. They look kind of like people in a fishbowl, I guess. You can see it there on the left in the yellow and black. Just some people hanging out, looking through the windows. You know, they're making noise, but no one can hear them. It's a bit strange, but I guess if you're sitting in there, there's some pretty good seats. All right, 1 hour, 15 minutes left. These guys all have 3 judged runs. Top 2 of these runs will be combined to give them an overall score. So the way it works is there's no set order. It's super relaxed. This is really what sets the Ride Shakedown apart from any other snowboard contest on the planet. These guys can just jam, ride with their friends, have a good time, hit the jump and the rail as many or as few times as they want before they decide, all right, this is going to be a judged run. I'm feeling comfortable. I want you judges to take a peek at this. I'm going to hit the jump, and I'm going to do whatever trick they call. They have to call the trick. And then also the same thing for the rail. And once they stomp it on a judged run, they got to dig into that quiver and try to find something new to try to wow the judges. Things are heating up. Riders are getting warmed up. We've got, from what I can guesstimate here, at bare minimum, probably 11 or 12,000 people. Shred-hungry fans here, Ride Shakedown, Mont Saint-Sauveur, Quebec, presented by Videotron. This event 10 years deep. We're celebrating the decade anniversary. And it's phenomenal. The outpouring of support that comes from the overall community around here, the shred community in Quebec, not to mention globally. It's a regular who's who of snowboard industry peeps hanging out. It's got a real party atmosphere. Lucky for me, I get to hang out in the tower. I got a great view. We've got a heater, which is nice. But waiting on our first judged run. All right, Alex Quentin from Quebec. Bit of a local hero. He's had some great success here at the Ride Shakedown. So, again, not feeling entirely comfortable. This is just a practice run. Now coming into the rail section. Heavy on the urban flavor as far as this rail section is concerned. They've got some closeout fences in the way of these cheese wedges. We have a 20-foot down round, and then we also have a single kink, which is probably, looks to be about 4 stairs up top, 3 feet across the kink, and then an additional 12 stairs on the bottom section. So that was Seb Touton, an uncharacteristic lack of speed on the big air hit and coming up a little bit short. So again, a little bit windy up top. You can see those Empire flags really flopping around. So you think these guys are 30 feet off the lip, another solid 10-15 feet above that. Winds are picking up. It makes it a little bit tricky to judge your speed coming in. As they drop in, we can see 2 competitors right here. They've got to negotiate a slight left-hand turn in to the big air kicker, and then just sort of fall out of the sky, hoping to find that sweet spot, which, to be honest, doesn't look to be all that big. But there are some competitors that have been able to find it. And we've seen some great riding over the course of the prelims yesterday and the semifinals today. Ride Shakedown, 10-year anniversary, Mont Saint-Sauveur, Quebec. And due to the wonders of technology, you get to listen to me talk mad smack about said contest while watching some wonderful moving images, all via the information superhighway. John Versteeg on course, a Whistler native. Well, he's not a Whistler native, but he calls Whistler home now. Oh, maybe scrubbed just a little bit too much speed going into that rail. But that's what this practice is for. Figure out all the nuances of the course. It was really hot and sunny today, and then now it's really starting to cool off, which could very easily make things a little bit difficult to judge your speed. 20 years old on course, this is Zachary Stone from Ontario. He calls Blue Mountain his home. Strong rider. I think he's grown about 1.5 feet in the last 1.5 years, which is fairly impressive to make. Just a few moments ago, he had a super sick run, stomping both his big air jump and the rail section. Max Kulisek. Boom! Dropping the front side 1200 into the front side 180. I guess, pardon me, that'd be a half cab. 50-50, Max Kulisek. Making his mark early. I don't think that was a judged run, but if that's what we've got coming down the pipe from Max, it's gonna be tough to beat him. Dropping in right now. This is Seth Hill. He's from the U.S. All of 24 years old. Oh, about 90 degrees short on that rotation. Seth Hill, 24 years old, and due to the youth movement in snowboarding these days and what's happening just around the world and how fast these kids are progressing at snowboarding as a whole. 24 years old, Seth Hill is actually one of our older competitors here in the finals. It looks to me like the average age is in and around the 19 or 20-year-old mark, which is just phenomenal to think where snowboarding has come and where we are right now. Speaking of which, 21 years old, Saint-Adèle, Quebec, which is mere moments down the road from here in Saint-Sauveur. We have Antoine Truchon. He had a solid prelim run. No, hold on, he got snaked. He got snaked. We've got Yale Casino. Yale Casino decided it was time to drop in. And what Yale wants, apparently Yale gets. Looks to be a cab 5. I didn't really see the takeoff. I got sidetracked by my ice-cold Coors Light, which is whetting my appetite here. Yale Casino, Vermont's own. See him. Just can't wait to get back up top. Check out that crowd. 12,000 bare minimum coming together here. Mont Saint-Sauveur 10th anniversary ride shakedown, brought to you by Videotron. Oh, that looks to be a backside 9. And then the 270 front board. All right, so no one has thrown down a judged run yet. Now, if they've got 3 chances to throw down a judged run. I spoke too soon. Antoine Truchon, he wants to break the seal. He wants to be the first guy dropping the judged run. Now, once you see this, it'll probably be a little bit easier to understand the format and why it's so unique and why these riders can really let loose. You know, they're super relaxed. They're not forced to do a judge run. You know, when the officials tell them to drop or when TV tells them to drop, these guys can just look at the course, take some practice runs, feel it out. And once they feel comfortable and they want to drop in, they need to just call out. Antoine Truchon. Antoine Truchon. Boom! Makes it happen, gets that last 180, kind of pulls it out of the fire. And a little overpress, frontside lip. Very strong. So that's our first judged run. So now, Antoine can go back up. He can take another practice run, or maybe he wants to go right back into his judged run. Up next, Sébastien Touton. I believe it's still a practice run. There's that backside 10 double cork that he's been relying on all year long. And it's just like clockwork with this kid. That gap to front side board coming out fakie. Sébastien Touton, Seb Toots to his friends. See, he's rocking that orange Decade shakedown jersey because he has won this event in the past, almost like the green jersey or the yellow jersey or whatever they do in the Tour de France where they wear those tight weird pants. The yellow jersey? Anyway, Seb Touton has won this event twice before, once when he was only 13 years old in 2006, then again in 09, and now jonesing for that 3rd title here at Saint-Sauveur. Ride shakedown presented by Videotron. We got another judged runner, second of the night, Francis Bourgeois. And I'm just slaughtering these French names. Just can't hang on the king trail. So again, these guys have 50% on the takeoff, on the big air section. Then 50% of their score is coming from the rail section. So you can see how important it is that they're able to nail and be consistent and be creative on both the jump and the rail. Alex Quentin. Looked to be a backside 9, kind of washing out there at the end. From my vantage point, I'm actually here in my hotel room sitting in my my hot tub. with the Coors Light, ice cold, certified, CL smooth as it were. So if I call any of these chicks wrong, I apologize. All right, on course, mystery rider, a bit of a train. Oh, trying to gap to the front side board and just carried a little bit too much speed. Hey, backside one over the whole thing. Why bother with the rail? Efficient, gets it done. All right, look at the determination in this man's eyes. Julien Beaulieu. This is going to be a judged run. These guys need to throw down at bare minimum 2 judged runs within the 90 minutes allotted. They have the opportunity to call out 3, but it's only their top 2 scores that are combined to give them their overall score, which then obviously gets ranked, and we'll see who the champion will be in 1 hour and 2 minutes. Julien Beaulieu coming into the big air jump. Right smack dab in the sweet spot. Holding that grab all the way around. Gap, front side lip, almost a bit of a nose blunt. He's excited, smashes into the speaker stands. You check out the Rockstar replay here. Bam, coming in. Front side 900. Stomps it super clean. The gap, that overpress. And then bam, right into the speaker stand. That's the Rockstar replay. Speaking of which, we've got a lot of great partners here at the Ride Shakedown that have been on board for a number of years to really make things happen. Push.ca, one of them. Coors Light, helping keep things all lubed up. Mount St. Sylvain has been a great host. Moog Audio, 33 Mag / Snowboard Mag. So a lot of great friends here keeping this contest alive. Not to mention allowing it to grow. For the first year ever, the Ride Shakedown had a presence overseas, and in Germany had their first European event. So as you can see, Zach Stone dropping in his first judged run from Ontario. Huge! I think that was a Cat 9. And then the 50-50, 3 out. Zachary Stone, 20 years old, from Ontario. He's got to be fairly pleased with that run. So that is first judged run of 3. Let's take a look at it. Rockstar replay. And then into the 50-50, 3 out, a little bit, 270 almost coming out there. So up next, we got John Versteeg. You can see his golden locks flowing from underneath his helmet. I don't know. He was having fun in prelims. Felt really comfortable with the jump, where a lot of the other athletes weren't entirely happy with how it was tossing them. Some described it as being thrown out of a building. It was also much windier, so these guys having to carry a lot of speed just to clear the 65-foot gap to make the knuckle. And then, you know, they were encountering some winds up in the air. So John Versteeg dropping him. Oh! Up. You can see that on that flat bar. There's a bit of a cheese wedge right before a chain link fence. So you've got to really gauge your speed properly coming into that obstacle, clearing the fence, then down on to the rail. Obviously, you don't carry enough speed, you get hung up on the fence, which is never a good idea. You carry too much speed, and then you maybe come down too hard on the rail, as John Versteeg does here, just catching the middle. You can see his board flexing right there in the middle, and unable to hang on a little bit in the back seat. John Versteeg, very, very strong competitor. Had a great showing in the semifinals. So look for him coming up. So we got a couple guys riding the train here. Oh, Yale Casino. So that was the backside 3 to 50-50. Now, not only did he get that yesterday in the Coors Light Rail Jam, but he also got it the hard way. So right there you saw him, came up, did the backside 3 coming off the rider's left side of that kink rail. Yesterday he did it off rider's right, and they call it the hard way because he spent the entire time fairly blind going into that rail. Yale Casino, quite the urban shred slayer when you get right down to it. All right, as you can see right there, we've got a judged run coming up. Seth Hill. Seth from Jacksonville, Oregon. So the Pacific Northwest also hosted the second ever ride shakedown on U.S. soil earlier this year. Seth Hill was present and looking to make his presence known here. Mont-Saint-Sauveur, Quebec. Oh! Boom, that giant gap, backside lip! That line, again, I'm yet to see anybody in the entire lineup from yesterday all the way until right now to hit that line other than Seth Hill. In all honesty, the way it looks when you stand beside it, you would think that they accidentally put the rail in the wrong spot and couldn't quite get it out of the snow. But Seth Hill proving them wrong. You can see it right here, all the way across that backside lip, dragging his nose across the snow. Wow. So he's got 2 more judge runs coming up. Nail that one. Phenomenal. Oh, the backside 10 double cork. I don't know who this is. A practice run, but very strong. And then that frontside 180 50-50. Well, switch 50-50, I guess. All right, so let's go through right now. Currently, 1 run. No one has taken more than 1 judged run thus far. In first place, Julien Beaulieu, that's 21.5. Zachary Stone sitting in second, 18.6. And rounding out the top 3, Antoine Truchon, 15.3. Up next. Now, if you remember, on his last run, he destroyed this course here at the Ride Shakedown. Matt Kulisek, no stranger to climbing to the top of the podium here in Saint-Sauveur. He wants his 2nd title. Oh! You gotta be kidding me. He almost landed in the rail complex in the frontside one. 50-50. He's got to be happy with that run. All smiles. Mats Kulisek. He's from the town of Mount Royal. Our oldest competitor here at 26, but most certainly not showing his age. An incredible run there. So we got the jump, he got the rail. Both are weighted 50% of his total score. He's looking to beat right now at 21.5. That's Julien Beaulieu's #1 score so far for run #1. And there it is, Mats Kulisek taking over the lead, 23.7. But again, this is super early in the competition and anything can happen. And there's some incredible riders that are yet to go. Speaking of which, Sébastien Touton has decided now is the time for a judged run. His first judged run of the night. The orange jersey signifying that he knows how to win this event. He knows what it takes. He understands the strategy. Dropping in Seb Touton. The backside 10, double cork. Effortless, right in the sweet spot. Cap 270 front board to Frankie Seb Touton. What I gotta say most certainly is the best ride we've seen thus far in the finals. 18 years old. This guy has accomplished more in this single season, starting with a win back at the Anti-Up event in Whistler in July. He followed that up with a win at the Aaron Style event in Beijing. Went on X Games gold, X Games silver, Euro X Games silver. Won the World Cup in Quebec. Second Euro X Games, I already said that. Anyway, here he is trying for his 3rd ride shakedown title. Seb Touton, backside 10 double cork like it ain't no thing into the cab 270 board slide to fakie. Wow, Seb Toots. This, of course, home soil from him. He's from L'Assomption, Quebec, which is just down the road when you get right down to it, in the grand scheme of things. And up next, also from Quebec, and hoping to take advantage of some of the energy that Seb Touton's generated in this place, Alex Quentin is dropping in for his first judge run. So he's calling out the backside 900 on the big air jump. Dropping in, negotiating that left-hand turn, the backside 9. Oh, a little bit in the back seat. He's going to take advantage of the rail complex to get a little practice in. So format switching up just a little bit from past years here at the Ride Shakedown. It used to be 2 runs, 2 judge runs, and you would take your top score and that would get ranked. This year, mixing things up, the organizers, longtime snowboarders in their own right, who created this event 10 years ago. Basically, it's a snowboarding contest by snowboarders for snowboarders. They're always trying to get feedback from the riders, from the industry, from the fans. They want to create a franchise of snowboard events that can be translated anywhere on the planet into a good time. And they're definitely doing very well thus far. They had their first stop in Europe this year in Germany, their second stop in 2 years in Seattle up in the Pacific Northwest. And the Ride Shakedown most certainly taking the world by storm. So what they've done now, after they've got all this feedback, talked to people, figure out what worked, what didn't work, and seeing as it's a 90-minute final, they decided to give these riders 3 judged runs, with the top 2 of those runs being combined to give them their overall score. So in essence, of their judged runs, they get 1 throwaway, and the other 2 have got to count. 50% of their score coming from the jump, 50% of their score coming from the rail. So Julien Beaulieu dropping in here. This is going to be a practice run, so he won't receive any scores. You can see right there, there's that Videotron fish tank I was telling you about. Basically, these guys are in there. They get fed Coors Light from the top, you know, kind of sprinkled on, much like a fish tank, and they got to jump up and try to grab them. 10th anniversary Ride Shakedown presented by Videotron. And you can see right there on the giant big air jump, Empire, a local board shop here in Quebec, thinkempire.com. They've got a mail order system. They've got every brand under the sun. They have been supporting and pushing and evolving skateboarding and snowboarding in Quebec, in essence in Canada, for years. Got to give a big shout out to them, dropping a lot of resources on this event and making it happen. John Versteeg dropping in there, looks to be Switch. So getting a little bit squirrely, landing in a different area code. So interesting enough, one of the few riders that was discussing how he didn't have a problem with the jump and he was okay with the speed coming into the jump was John Versteeg, and he seems to have kind of overshot that a little bit, landing in the 418 area code, which is on the east side of Quebec, and of course being just north of Montreal, we're right now on the west side of Quebec. So seeing as this broadcast is going out over the World Wide Web, let me take a second and break down some geography here. We are in Mont Saint-Sauveur, Quebec, about a 45-minute drive north of Montreal. Montreal is kind of in central/eastern Canada. Canada is just north of the United States of America. Perhaps you've heard of it. And that is where the Ride Shakedown presented by Videotron is taking place. There's at bare minimum 12,000 people taking in the action, not to mention all you people out on the information superhighway. Yale Casino, I don't know how he's getting back to the top, but I think this is like run number 9 for him. He's yet to drop in. Actually, I know exactly what's going on with Yale. I get it now. The ultimate showman, Yale Casino, just missed finals. So he's riding the prelims, was having such a good time, so he said, you know what? I'm just going to keep this flow happening. I'm loving it. I love the energy. As I mentioned, I just did an interview with Mr. Casino, which will be up on push.ca in a few days. And we touched base on the Ride Shakedown and why he comes out here year after year. And he says it is most certainly because of the energy, the format of the event, and just how much fun he has when he comes out here. So he's from Vermont, which is pretty much due south of Montreal. And he spent a lot of time competing and growing up and riding in Quebec and some of the local contests, of course, also in Vermont. So Yale has got a bit of an attachment to the Ride Shakedown, and you can see it. He's not even in the final, and he's spinning laps faster than any of the competitors. Matt Kulisek. So again, one of his practice runs. Had a very, very strong first judged run. Currently in second place, a 10th of a point behind Seb Touton. Matt Kulisek with a 23.7 on his first judge run. So almost all the competitors have thrown down one judged lap. So pretty soon we can start seeing some of these guys dropping in for their second judged run. Seb Toots, as you can see right there, bottom left-hand corner. This is going to be a bit of a practice run. So he got that. Oh, he got that backside 10 double cork on his first run. So now he's trying the front side double cork. Pretty sure that was a 10. He's been known to drop the front side 12 double cork. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes. There's most certainly a strategy when it comes to this event. Not only on how many practice runs you're going to take, when you're ready to drop in on a judge run, but also do you want to take a safety trick, a safety run early, get something in the bag, get some numbers up there, build your confidence, and then move on to the bangers? Or comes down to is whether or not you're a gambling man. But we'll see how it goes. Right now, Seb Toots, 23.8, our highest score of the evening. Max Perrot dropping in. This is going to be his first judge run. We're coming up on the middle marker of our 90-minute final. Max Perrot yet to do a judge run. So obviously a lot of these competitors looking to get in a lot of practice, make sure they dial in the jump, dial in the rail section, really figure things out before they drop in. But also, it's good to know what you're up against. You know, if you kind of hang back and wait and see what people are doing, see what kind of scores these tricks are getting, you can maybe decide on your strategy a little bit easier that way. So on course, Max Perrot coming into the big air, backside 1080. Very strong, out of nowhere. And then that front side lip slide, getting a little bit squirrely at the end. Now, interesting for those of you that maybe aren't from Quebec and don't speak the Québécois, the bastardized French that they speak out here in Quebec. No offense, no offense to anybody listening from Quebec. I mean that in the nicest way. But basically what they do, that little extension at the end of the kink rail, that little 1 foot kind of flat section, they have named that the Dunky. Yes, you heard me, the Dunky. D-U-N-K-Y. So if you hear me refer to the extension at the end of the kink rail as the Dunky, you now know what I'm talking about. Francis Bourgeois coming in on a practice run. I got sidetracked by a bunch of flashing lights and lovely French women, so I completely missed out on the big air jump. I thoroughly apologize. Let's get a Rockstar replay, maybe? No love from the Rockstar replay. Alex Quentin, another practice run. Alex, one of the riders, he's yet to do a judged run. So he still has 3 judged runs to attempt. Just trying to dial in his tricks, looking very strong on the big air jump. And Alex, dare I say, a much stronger rail competitor than he is jump competitor. And of course, I speak too soon. 10th anniversary, a decade of Ride Shakedown has happened. You are witnessing 10 years of snowboarding history. Dropping in from Ontario, Zachary Stone. He's currently in 5th place with his single judged run. He's got an 18.6. Zachary Stone growing like a weed. Last time I checked, this kid was like 4'4", and now he's well over 6 feet. Very strong competitor. Rides out of Ontario. Blue Mountain calls it home. And up in the starting gate, you can see right there the telltale golden locks flowing from his white helmet. John Versteeg making the trip from Whistler, BC, all the way across this vast country of ours. Probably a solid 5,000 kilometers from Whistler, BC to here in Mont-Saint-Sauveur, Quebec. John Versteeg. Dropping in. This will be his 2nd judged run, our first competitor to call out the 2nd judged run. And that looks to be a cab 10. Coming into the rail section, the 270 front board, John Versteeg. Spending a lot of its time in Whistler, in the backcountry, riding a snowmobile, looking to film and get photos, but definitely making it happen here in the contest scene. Let's go to the Rockstar replay. And there you have it. And that was indeed cab 1080. And then into the rail section, the cab 270 front board to fakie. Some great riding from John Versteeg. Very, very solid. So that his 2nd run, he's posted a 23.8, which actually ties our single highest score of the evening thus far, posted by Seb Touton in his 1st run. So John Versteeg has 1 judged run remaining and is in an excellent position to take the 10th anniversary Ride Shakedown presented by Videotron. 40 minutes remaining, so we're over halfway. Our only competitor, a 2nd judged run. And that's Antoine Truchon. And as you can see, I am completely wrong. Julien Beaulieu. So this, his 2nd judged run. Julien posting a 21.5 on his 1st run. So this, his 2nd of 3 judged runs. So dropping in, coming into the big air section of this Ride Shakedown course. You can see right there on the takeoff, scrubbing a ton of speed and then barely making it over the knuckle. Coming up a little bit short, getting bounced into the flats. Julien Beaulieu, currently in 4th place after his 1st run, is most certainly going to have to capitalize on his 3rd and final run if he wants to crack the top 3, let alone take the win here at the 10th anniversary Ride Shakedown presented by Videotron. On course right now, this is Mats Kulisek. So Mats, if you remember, has had a very solid series of runs. Right now, his 1st run score of 23.7 has him in 3rd place. But we'll most certainly see some of those people drop down towards the bottom of these 10 finalists as more and more people take on their second judged run. So 3 judged runs whenever these guys want to call it, whenever they're feeling it and they want to drop in and get it in the books. Of those 3 runs, their top 2 scores will then get ranked and we'll get our winners. So here we have Seb Touton. Again, that frontside 10 double cork. So, Seb Touton, no question, solid snowboarder. You look at that backside 10 double cork, and he certainly gets sideways, and it's an incredible trick to watch, but when he drops in on that frontside 10 double cork, it is textbook. Upside down, both axes spinning 1,080 degrees. Seb Touton, that frontside 1080 and his frontside 12 double cork are just a pleasure to watch. And always put a smile on my face, personally. And the crowd is growing even deeper. I don't know. I'm not even going to guesstimate how many people are here because I can't even see around all. You can see it right there. I can't even see all around all the stands and the people. Standing room only. At least I was claiming 12,000. I'm going to guess at upwards of 15,000 now. These guys having a blast. The party type atmosphere that only the Ride Shakedown is known for. So some other great partners here have been making this happen over the years. We've got Oakley, we've got Coors Light on board, 33 Mags, Skull Candy, Rockstar Energy Drink. They're providing the Rockstar replay and all the energy to keep these fans and these athletes in top form. SBC, Snowboard Canada Magazine, Shakedown Manufacturing. If you want Shakedown gear, hats, sweaters, oversized hoodies that only the Quebecois can provide, you want to check out Shakedown Manufacturing. Skull Candy's been here all week providing tunes, headphones. TSN Canada, the sports network, they will be showcasing the Ride Shakedown 10th anniversary TV show hosted by none other than yours truly over the coming weeks. Check your local listings. Also on RDS. Troublemakers has been on board. Vans has been a huge partner here for years and years. Now Yale Casino, I was saying earlier, loves coming to this event, has an amazing time at this event. Unfortunately, has gone down fairly hard on that kink rail. So that is most certainly unfortunate. But he's a very strong rider, very strong competitor, and I'm sure things are going to work out just fine for him. So let's do a little housekeeping here. This is the 10th anniversary, 10 years deep, a decade old Ride Shakedown presented this year by Videotron. As it stands right now, John Versteeg from Whistler, BC, the only competitor to do more than one judged run. So he is currently sitting in first spot. Now his first judge run was merely a 13.3. His second judge run, one of the highest of the night, actually tied for the highest of the night, 23.8. I'm going to say that probably one of the sole reasons why he's able to be sitting in first place right now, based on run number 1, because it was scored so low, it's because he's the only rider to have 2 runs in the books. Seb Toots sitting in second place. He's got the 23.8 on run number 1. Third place, Mats Kulisek with the 23.7. So, as I mentioned, 35 minutes remaining in this 90-minute final. All the riders are able to call out when they feel ready and want to hit this behemoth of a jump and into the rail complex. They turn to the starting gate judge and say, you know what, this is it, I'm feeling it. I want this to be a judged run. I want this one to make it into the history books. And not only that, they need to come across and call out, I'm going to do this trick on the big air jump, and then I'm going to do this trick on the rail. If they stomp said run, then they are not allowed to do these tricks in their subsequent runs. So there's a number of factors that will win you a Ride Shakedown title. 1, you have got to have a deep, deep bag of tricks. You cannot be a one-trick wonder. A one-trick wonder or a one-trick pony or whatever you want to call it is not going to take home the ride shakedown. It's just not possible. You need a deep quiver of tricks. You've got to be consistent. You've got to get tech. You've got to have an insane snowboard ability. The desire to want this event, to step up your game. Run number 1, run number 2, run number 3. Of the 3 runs, your top 2 scores will then get ranked. And we find out who's our winner. So here in the instant replay, the Rockstar replay, right here, this is Matt's Kulisek, I believe. This is his, that was his last practice run. So you can see right there, we've stopped the clock at 35 minutes. We're doing some course maintenance. We're cleaning some things up. We're putting it together to make sure that these final 35 minutes of the Ride Shakedown 10th Anniversary Edition, presented by Videotron, is top shelf for everyone involved. Giant crowd. Energy level is through the roof. We got tunes. We got Coors Light, or the CL Smooth, as I like to call it. Cold certified, on hand, on tap. If anybody wants it, it's theirs. Axe Deodorant, also a sponsor of this event, which is nice because, let's be honest, snowboarders do not smell very nice. Axe Deodorant will help you pick up chicks. And for all you ladies out there, you're welcome, because Axe Deodorant is making your male snowboard friends' boots and after après-shred aura smell that much better. Axe Deodorant. Just glad to have him here. I need to pick up a stick and insert it in between my boot liner and my actual boot. Moog Audio providing the tunes. DJ Nerve, I believe, in that tower right there, spinning. What used to be called the 1s and 2s, I believe the kids were calling them. You know, spinning vinyl records. I don't even know what vinyl is, to be honest. I like to call it now the 0s and 1s, because it's all digital. This crowd's starting to get anxious. They want to see some more snowboarding. 35 minutes remaining. Ride Shakedown, presented by Videotron, the 10th anniversary here, Mont-Saint-Sauveur, Quebec. Getting this course prep, getting things ready for the final third of the event. And still a ton of snowboarding to be had. Only 9 of the 10 riders have done their first run. Only 1 single rider has 2 judged runs in the books, which means even though we're well over 2/3 of our way through the final, our riders are barely 1/3 of the way through their judged runs. So it will most certainly come down to the wire here under the lights, Mont-Saint-Sauveur. Ride Shakedown presented by Videotron. So after that bit of a break, I can only imagine that these riders are going to want to take a couple of practice runs to get warmed up again. This is Alex Quentin, our single snowboarder yet to post a judged run. I guess he just hasn't felt comfortable enough to make it happen. And I can only imagine after that, landing fairly hard, drifting way out to rider's right, he probably won't be ready all that soon to post a judged run. Up next, you can see right there in the starting gate, Zachary Stone, 20 years old, Ontario, Canada. He had a very strong showing in many of his contests previous to this year. So trying to capitalize on this, his second judged run here in the finals. Straight lining into that mellow left-hand turn, into the big air jump. Boom! Making it happen. And then gapping down to that front side lip slide. Zachary Stone. I'm not entirely sure what he did on that big airhead. Dare I say, the cab cork 9? Maybe the cab double cork 10. And there you see the crowd here at Mont Saint-Sauveur for the finals. Ride Shakedown presented by Videotron. Dropping in next, Antoine Truchon. Things getting rowdy out here. This giant crowd has been amped since we raised the gates yesterday and got things happening. Yesterday we had the prelims, the Coors Light Rail Jam that young Jeremy Cloutier just mangled and took home the win. $5,000 for that young man. And then moving on to today, we had the semifinals a bit earlier, the Push.ca halftime show, where we had some of the best skateboarders in the country take on the King Trail. Winner take all, $2,000. There was a 50-50 to 5-0 down the end. A couple guys split it. One was a gentleman intimately known around here, affectionately known around here as Piff, longtime shred dog skateboarder extraordinaire from Quebec. So Antoine Truchon has decided to back down. He's going to let Seth Hill step up. This is second judge run. Seth Hill posting a 13.3 on his first run, currently in 7th place. So you can see him there visualizing, wanting to make sure he stomps it. Because there's 2 scores combined for their overall ranking, he's pretty much in a bit of a do-or-die situation. Yes, he's got 2 judge runs remaining, but his first judge run barely topped in, barely got him into 7th place. So Seth Hill certainly trying to feel it, trying to absorb some of the energy here, and the crowd that's at least 12,000 people deep. Ride Shakedown 10th anniversary. Bit do or die. Oh, makes it happen. You see him kind of open up to slow down his rotation. That front side, oh, sorry, the giant gap to backside lip slide. Seth Hill, like I said, he's the only guy hitting that line. And let's see how the judges are going to reward him for that. Huge difficulty. Rockstar replay. Let's check it out. So we've got the backside 9. You see him open up right there, right at the end, the huge gap, the backside lip. Gets into the back seat, can't hang on. That was such a solid line coming into the rail section. It really is too bad he wasn't able to hang on. But you know what? He did land over the bolts. He did get on his board. And let's see how the judges reward him. Seth Hill, and as expected, posts a 17.6 on run number 2. Definitely got docked for not stomping that second of the 2 aspects of this contest, the rail section. Landed it, got in the back seat, patted the dog, and unfortunately the judges docked him for that and was only posted a 17.6 there on run number 2. As you can see right there, former Ride Shakedown champion, local Quebecois shred dog, Mats Kulisek. This is judged run number 2. Boom! Oh! You can see the compression. He went huge. And I hope we get a Rockstar replay on that. You can see him landing so hard, compressing, bouncing his shoulders off of his knees, trying to hang on, and then just getting a little bit too tall, digging in that edge and going down. You can see it right here, Rockstar replay. Bring it around, there's the 10, the 12, boom! And just the compression. Now it looked to be a 10, and just coming down far too hard. So that sweet spot here on the big air section of the Ride Shakedown kicker is really not that large, and some of these riders having trouble finding it. John Versteeg on course. Another practice run. So he's trying to dial in the big air kicker. Backside 9, well, more of a backside 8, coming down on his toes. So a little bit distraught as to how that worked out. But just being a practice run, that's when you want to work out the kinks. No pun intended. Get out the butterflies, get comfortable, feel good about it, then call your judged run and make it happen. So on top of Ride and Videotron making this happen for us, we've got Empire Board Shop, thinkempire.com, 33 Mag, as I was saying earlier, Axe, the Camp of Champions, which is a summer snowboard camp up on the glacier in Whistler Blackcomb, are a big sponsor here. Not only a big sponsor, but also pumping out a lot of these kids. I used to coach up there years ago, and kids like Zach Stone, John Versteeg, Seb Touton, these are all guys that used to come up to the Camp of Champs, get their summer shred on, and apparently it has worked for them to get that extra riding in. So there you can see Julien Beaulieu, currently in 6th place. He's dropping in on his 2nd judged run of 3. They're confirming with Zach Stone behind him on how many judged runs he gets, holding up the number 3. So I think he's called the Cab 10. Oh! Getting uber tweaked, grabbing his tail, poking it way out, trying to speed up that rotation coming into the second, well, I guess the 3rd 360 rotation in that Cab 1080. So you can see right there, Julien Beaulieu, 27 minutes remaining. Let's get another look at that on the Rockstar replay. Comes in cab, there's 3-7, trying to get the 10 around, just a little bit out over the toes, bounces out, and that being a 2nd judged run, Julien Beaulieu, that's going to be a tough pill to swallow, but he does have a 3rd and final run remaining. You can see him right there. Still smiling. He's got one more kick at the can. He can make it happen. I want to get back and touch base with some of the partners, some of our friends here in the industry that have made the Ride Shakedown what it is. Oakley, a huge sponsor. Rockstar, Skull Candy, Snowboard Mag. Empire, of course, Drop Gloves. I Found Headwear. Now, I Found Headwear, an interesting story. A gentleman by the name of Guillaume Brochu, local here in Quebec, spent a number of years out in Whistler. He got together with some people, started a headwear company that has just, I don't know, it's an incredibly innovative, creative brand that has really kind of branched out and helped out the headwear market. Toques, well, I guess beanies for our U.S. listeners. We've also got, you know, New Era style caps, you name it. I found it right on your head. I Found Headwear. Mount Saint Sauveur, of course, without them, we'd be nowhere. Mount Saint Sauveur, year after year, piling up a whole pant load of snow so that we can have this giant kicker. All throughout the winter, they got the snow guns blowing out there, making sure that we got enough snow to make sure that the Ride Shakedown goes off, as it is right now, the 10th anniversary, presented by Videotron. Extra Slush, also a sponsor here. Now, if you're kicking around Extra Slush, they provide a lovely pina colada type cocktail, much that you would find maybe on the beaches of the Caribbean or Cuba, which I guess is in the Caribbean, but you know what I'm getting at. Lots of lovely beverages to be had. Coors Light, a longtime sponsor of action sports here in Canada and around the world, and not to mention here at the Ride Shakedown. Cold certified, what I like to call the CL Smooth. They're just so nice. You know, it's been sunny all day here. Now we're under the lights. Here are the finals. Might as well enjoy it. CL Smooth. "24 minutes remaining. Only 3 riders have posted a second run score thus far. Now again, who am I to say what's right or wrong? Because, oh, see him pointing at the camera, telling you, hey, it doesn't matter if I'm doing a practice run. At the end of the day, these riders only need to post 2 big scores. Of the 3 runs that they have, only 2 of them are going to count. Backside 270, face plant. Smack the dog. There you got it. So, as I was saying, best 2 runs of 3. So much like when you played Rochambeau or Paper, Scissors, Rocks or whatever you did as a kid, best 2 out of 3 is going to take it. So yes, these guys do have the opportunity to throw down 3 runs, 3 judged runs within these 90 minutes. They really only have to post 2 big scores. There you have it. Empire up top in that giant big air kicker. No less than 35 feet from base to lip. 65 feet to get from lip to knuckle. That's just to make it to the landing. And as I've been saying before, the sweet spot, bare minimum, 80 feet from lip to landing. As you can see right there, Antoine Truchon. This is going to be his second of 3 judged runs. So Antoine on his first run posted a 15.3. So as we saw earlier with Seth Hill, even though they get 3 judged runs, seeing as it's the top 2 scores that are combined, this is do or die time. Antoine Truchon, he's got to stay on his feet, make it happen, or else he's pretty much out of the running. And there you have it, looks to be a cab 9. And now into the rail section. We got the front side 180 to switch 50-50. Stepping up to the challenge, Antoine Truchon must have heard us talking. Do or die time, had to make it happen, threw it down. Let's check it out on the Rockstar replay. So he goes in, and I believe indeed it was the Cab 900. Or was it a 10? It's so tough to tell. As mentioned, I'm sitting in my hot tub in my hotel room watching it on a small little video screen, which is nice. It's the power of technology. There you have it. Ride Shakedown 10th anniversary presented by Videotron. Videotron has been having contests all weekend long in which you could win a little bit of time in the Videotron fish tank. You can sit in there, stay warm, have an ice cold Coors Light or CL Smooth, party. Look at them, look at the smiles. Everyone's having a good time. 21 minutes remaining here in the finals. Wow, tons of snowboarding already gone down. But seriously, only 4 people have posted a second judged run. That means we need to see 6 more judged runs for run number 2, and then another 10 for run number 3. At bare minimum, we have 16 judged runs left for these guys to try to take the 10th anniversary win. Right there, Maxence Perrault, Polly Cracker, judged run number 2. 20 minutes remaining. You can see right there. That means, now if my math serves me correctly, 16 judged runs remaining, 20 minutes remaining here in the final. We are going to see, at bare minimum, 1 judged run every 1 minute and 20 seconds. Or thereabouts, on average. And here you have it, Max Perrault. Backside 12! Unbelievable, Max Perrault. That was a phenomenal run. Backside 12 off the big air jump. I gotta do the math here and make sure I got this right. Boom, there it is, and around the backside 12. Unbelievable. And then into the 270 front side board to fakie. That has got to be a game changer here in the finals. Seb Touton, a little look of concern on his face after seeing young Max, dare I say a no-name, step up and just drop a 26.5. Max Perot, that is the highest score of the night. Well deserved, combined with his first run of 20.7. He is our new leader on course. Sebastien Touton currently sitting in 6th place. This is his second judge run of 3. Oh, can't hang on, losing his edge. Uncharacteristic fall for the very consistent, very strong Sebastien Touton. So he has now 18 minutes to throw down his third and final run. Seb Touton. Wow. What a change of events. The decade of the Ride Shakedown is bringing some serious surprises, some Cinderella stories, but Max Perot at 26.5 with that backside 12 into the 270 frontside board. Wow. Mats Kulisek currently sitting in 7th. His second run was most certainly a disappointment. Holy, and I want to use an expletive. I think I'm allowed to on the information superhighway, especially considering how much porn is out there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep things professional. 17 minutes left. The energy out here is electric. The crowd is on the edge of their seats. The Coors Light is flowing. The snowboarding is top shelf. Mats Kulisek. Now this is going to be his third. Oh, no, I take that back. Mats Kulisek. This is going to be his second judged run. 17 minutes left. 17 minutes left. We have 14 judge runs left to see. This is Mats Kulisek, second of 3. He posted a 23.7, one of the highest scores of the first round. He's hoping to capitalize on that momentum, make it happen here. Run number 2. Oh, man! Huge. Answering the 12, coming back. Half cap, 50-50, 180 out. Mats Kulisek. That's got to be a big number. Run number 2. The amazing thing about this is he still has 1 judged run remaining. Okay, Rockstar replay. Where are we at? There it is, all the way around. Oh, it was the 10. It was the 10. I was mistaken. I got too excited. But still, and the half cap, or frontside 180, 50-50, 180 out. Mats Kulisek. Run number 2. That's got to be a big number. And he still has 1 judged run remaining. Some minor scoreboard issues. I'm thinking that was Mats Kulisek's third and final run. For third and final judged run. We're looking back to confirm. The action has just been so fast and so furious here. We got a little bit sideways on our results. But from what I understand, and it has been confirmed, that was indeed Mats Kulisek's third and final judged run. 47.4 is his combined total, which puts him now in first place. Mats Kulisek, our first competitor to do all 3 judged runs, currently sitting in first place. John Versteeg opening up. I don't think he quite stomped what he was hoping there. 15 minutes remaining, 270 front board. John Versteeg. $14 minutes remaining, 13 judged runs left. Now we're coming down to 1 judged run a minute. Francis Bourgeois up in the start gates. John Versteeg, all smiles. And perhaps a little too focused to crack a smile. up there on the start gate, Francis Bourgeois. So he's only got one judged run in the books so far. This his second of 3. So for those of you not quite 100% sure what's going on, this is the 10th anniversary Ride Shakedown presented by Videotron, live from Mont-Saint-Sauveur, Quebec. And the way it works is these guys have 90 minutes to throw down 3 judged runs. They can take as many or as few practice runs as they want. They decide which runs are going to be judged. 50% of the score is weighted on the jump, 50% is weighted on the rail. Of those 3 runs, the top 2 scores are combined, and then we put them all up on the scoreboard, see how it shakes out, and who ends up the 2011 Ride Shakedown champion. In the gates, Julien Beaulieu. Coming up short, he had that same issue on his first run. Just about 90 degrees short, landed on the toes, which certainly never feels good on both your ankles and your Achilles tendon. Especially from that type of height. 35 feet from base to lip of the big air jump. 65 feet to clear the knuckle, 80 feet to get to the sweet spot. This is Antoine Truchon. Oh, look at that crowd. If you aren't here, you want to be here. Mont-Saint-Sauveur, 2011. This is the decade, 10-year anniversary Ride Shakedown presented by Videotron. Some long-time friends to make this happen. We've got Oakley, Vans, Moog Audio, Push.ca. All right, so always interactive here at the Ride Shakedown. We've got a quick question. One, what happened to Yale Casino? So those of you that have been checking this out, Yale Casino, Vermont native, super great guy, incredible urban rail shredder. He just missed the finals earlier today in the semis, but was kind of spinning laps, providing some atmosphere, giving the crowd some energy, just basically entertaining. He had a bit of a slip up on the kink trail, went down. He's currently at a local hospital. As he was being trucked off to said hospital, we got a solid wave, we got a solid smile. Yale Casino was in great spirits when he left here at Mont-Saint-Sauveur. Injuries are always unfortunate, but also inherent to the sport. Yale Casino, very strong rider. We look for a strong recovery very soon. As I mentioned, he was in high spirits on the way out, and we wish him the best. Back to the action, 11 minutes remaining. Alex Quentin, judge run his first of 3. He's going to have to drop all 3 judge runs here in the final 10 minutes. A little bit of a revert. He will get docked a bit for that. Oh! And getting a little bit tangled up on the rail, going down fairly hard. Alex Quentin. Now, if you know Alex, he's built a little bit like a brick, you know, one of those houses that you do your number 2 in. Anyway, but he's a very strong guy. See him come around, stomps it, gets a little bit squirrely, and then here on the, goes for the 270 on the rail, and watch his arm kind of buckle up underneath him. But being as strong as he is, he's fine. 10 minutes left. Coming down to the wire, Alex Quentin, all smiles. Apparently he's not aware that his arm kind of got chicken winged all the way back to the back of his head. But as long as he's okay, that works for me. 10 minutes remaining. 90-minute final. We are 80 minutes deep. These riders all having the opportunity to call out which of their runs would be judged. They had 3 chances. Top 2 scores from those 3 judged runs then get combined. From that, we will see our winners. As it stands right now, only 2 riders have completed all 3 judged runs. Currently, first place, Mats Kulisek, 47.4, his combined score. The other rider, John Versteeg, combined score of 37.1. Maxence Perrault, a little bit of a Cinderella story. Local rider, obviously an incredibly consistent, technical, and talented rider, is in second place. He's got a 47.2. He's only 0.2 of a point behind Mats Kulisek. But the big thing about Max Perrault is he has posted the highest score of the evening, 26.5 on run number 2. Seb Touton, X Games gold medalist, X Games silver medalist, is sitting at a 23.8. The highest score of the night so far, Max Perrault, 26.5, out of nowhere. He still has one judged run remaining. Up top, speaking of judged runs, and there you have it, giving us the back, giving us the cold shoulder. Seth Hill deciding, working it out, discussing with the officials what he's going to do on this run. Big smile dropping in. You can see right there, 8 minutes remaining for everybody else to get in their third and final run. This is Seth Hill's last chance qualifier. Last call, 2 a.m. I guess in Quebec it's 4 a.m. Ooh, kind of losing it right off the lip. You can see that getting all hula hooped and unable to grab his board. Seth Hill, I'm certain that he's going to be still going to be all smiles. Certainly had some fun today, and he just might be completely out of gas. It's a lot of snowboarding here at the Ride Shakedown. And again, you got to be consistent. You got to have some strategy. You've got to be resilient. You've got to have a deep quiver of tricks if you want to go away the champ here at the Ride Shakedown. You can see right there, super squirrely, hula hoops, just hoping that he came down P-Tex first. Seth Hill. Seth, one of our competitors from the U.S., Jacksonville, Oregon, the Pacific Northwest. As I've mentioned, where the Ride Shakedown has set up a franchise. Summit at Snoqualmie played host to its second Ride Shakedown in as many years, just about 2 weeks ago. And for the first time ever on European soil, the Ride Shakedown took place in Garmisch, Germany, being won by Jamie Nichols from the UK. And now, third and final run. Seb Touton. He knows what it takes to win. He knows what he has to do to win. Now, it's just a matter of making it happen. 6 minutes left. Sébastien Touton, Quebec native, on his home soil. Third and final run, dropping in switch. Cab, double cork, 12. Getting it all the way around. There it is, Seb Touton. And the front side, left side. He's got to be happy with that. The crowd is ecstatic. Quebecois native Sébastien Touton raising his arms triumphantly. Cab cork, pardon me, cab double cork 12. Here's the Rockstar replay. 3.5 rotations, twice upside down. Sébastien Touton in front of his hometown, well, pardon me, his home province natives. His friends are here, his family's here, under the gun. The pressure, phenomenal. Seb Touton, there it is, 26.6 on his third and final run. A giant 50.4 combined, taking over top spot from Mats Kulisek. Talk about leaving things to the last minute. In the 11th hour, Seb Touton wasn't able to stomp the frontside 10 double cork on his second run. So thought to himself, you know what? Might as well go one step further, drop the 12, upside, freaking down twice into that front side lip, all the way down to the second half of the kink. Seb Touton posting the giant 50.4. and taking over first place, looking to get his third Ride Shakedown title. His first coming back in 2006 when he was all of 13 years old. Now 18, on top of the world, X Games gold medalist. I can't stress it enough. He is just an unbelievable competitor, a consummate professional, the eternal gentleman, Seb Toutant. I could not think of a better man to currently be sitting in first place. But we have 5 riders left with a third run. 3 minutes, 45 seconds remaining. Antoine Truchon. This will be his third and final judged run. He posted a 25.6 on his second run. 25.6, run number 2. If he wants to beat out Seb Toutant, he will have to get a 24.8 or higher. Well, I guess a 24.9 or higher if he wants to beat out Seb's 50.4. Oh, coming down hard, a little bit too big. And you know, of course, we've gone over this numerous times. 50% of the score coming from the jump, 50% of the score coming from the rails. And unfortunately, Antoine Truchon, that is not going to cut it, and that's going to be it for him as it stands right now. Sébastien Toutant, a regular juggernaut of the slopestyle discipline here in snowboarding. Unreal. Max Kulisek in second with a 47.4. Max Perot, the Cinderella story, sitting in third place, currently still in the money with a 47.2. Here he is, run number 3. And again, Max has posted the second highest score of the night. He was only beaten out by Seb Toutant by 1/10 of a point on Seb's final run there, where Seb dropped that cab double cork 12 into that front side lip, was a 26.6. Max Perot got a 26.5 on run number 2, so he's entirely capable of posting a giant number here. Is he able to take out Seb Toutant? Max Perot stomping his jump. Can he be the giant killer coming in? Oh, getting a little bit squirrely on that rail. I don't know. He posted a huge number in run number 2, so he doesn't need to get all that massive a number on run number 3 to try to take it from Seb Toutant. So it's going to be interesting to see how the judges score this. As it stands right now, Max Perot's got a 26.5 as his highest run. To take over first place from Seb Toots, he'll need to put up, if my math serves me correctly, in and around a 24.9. So it's going to be very interesting to see if he's able to make that happen. And even a little bit less than that, and he'll be able to take over second place from Max Kulisek. He really just needs to get a, from, let me see here, a 22 to move on. So Max Perot, the judges didn't really like what went down there, posting a third and final judged run of 11.3, which means he will stay in third position with a 47.2. Four riders remaining. As it looks right now, we have 4 riders left to do their third and final run. Just under 20 seconds remaining. So the way it works here at the Ride Shakedown is they're going to let these guys, if they were at the start gate, by the time winds down, they're still going to let them take their third and final run. And as it stands right now, Seb Toutant. Seb Toots to his friends, 50.4, just annihilating his third and final run, showing us the poise and the control that has put him to the top of the snowboard slopestyle game on a global scale so many times over this year. I can't even remember how often he's on the podium. He's most certainly off the podium way more time, or sorry, way less times than he was on it at any and all international competitions he was in this year. Started things off, ante-up win, Whistler Blackcomb in July. Won the Sean White Beijing Air and Style. X Games Gold in slopestyle, X Games Silver in Big Air. He also won the best overall male athlete, winning himself a Jeep Cherokee at the X Games. And then from there on to a second place position in the World Cup stop in Quebec City. And then a silver at the Euro X Games, Sebastian Touton. Seems to be continuing his winning ways here. The 10th anniversary of the Ride Shakedown, presented by Videotron, in conjunction with a number of our great friends and partners. Coors Light, Oakley, Drop Gloves, I Found Headwear, 33 Mag, Campa Champs, Axe Deodorant Spray and Body Spray has been here all weekend long. Empire Board Shop, Nightlife.com, Mont Saint-Sauveur for providing the ultimate playground for the Ride Shakedown. Moog Audio, Push.ca, Rockstar Energy Drink, Snowboard Canada Magazine, Shakedown Manufacturing. If you want any Shakedown attire, hats, hoodies, jackets, you want to check out Shakedown Manufacturing. They've also got an excellent mail order catalog. Skull Candy, Slash Snowboard Magazine, TSN Canada, The Sports Network, Troublemakers. Everybody over at Vans has always stepped up to the plate when we're looking for support here at the Ride Shakedown. Videotron, a presenting sponsor this year, a great new addition to the team. And then, of course, Extra Slush, providing some refreshment here on site. So that's going to be it for me. We're going to go down to the podium to see who's going home with the money here at the 10th anniversary Ride Shakedown, presented by Videotron. Thanks for listening to my rants and my carryings on. Stay tuned. In mere moments, we're going to get the podium for you. You're going to see who's going home with the money. Was Seb Touton able to take home his third Ride Shakedown title in a row? Or did Max Kulisek or Max Perot, the Cinderella story, edge him out from top spot? Stand by, check out the podium.
incredible show it was. En troisième position, third place, with a score of 47.2, 47.2, Maxence Parot! Maxence Parot, félicitations! Maintenant, ensuite de ça, en deuxième position, in second place, after finishing first at the Snoqualmie event again, and second at the Germany event, premier aux États-Unis et deuxième place en Allemagne, avec un score de 47.4, Matt Kulisek! Bling bling, Matt Kulisek imprime de l'argent durant le mois de mars et avril. Félicitations, Matt! Et le grand gagnant de ce 10e anniversaire, the 10th year anniversary winner, for a third time, pour une troisième fois, avec un score de 50.4, Sébastien Toutin! Une bonne main d'applaudissements pour nos trois gagnants de cette 10e édition du Ride Shakedown. Seb Toutin, Matt Kulisek et Maxence Parot. Félicitations à vous les trois. C'est temps de chambrer le champagne, les boys. Accotez votre board sur le back wall. Chambrez le champagne, on prendra une photo après. Alors, nos trois gagnants, Sébastien Toutin, Matt Kulisek et Maxence Parot. 25 000 $ ici même sur le podium qui vont se dépenser au bar ce soir. Au moins 10 %, donc 2 500 $ de bar bill. Ça sent bon. Il va y avoir de la boisson au Mont Villa. Alors, c'est un rendez-vous. Merci à toute l'équipe. Merci aux fans. Merci à la station du Mont-Saint-Sauveur. Merci à Ride Snowboard. Merci à Vidéotron. Oakley, Push.ca, Course Life, Axe, Empire, Rockstar, Extra Slush, Vans, Snowboard Canada, Shakedown MFG, iFound, Drop, Moog, Audio, Camp of Champion, Skull Candy, 33 Mag, Flash Snowboard Mag, Nightlife Magazine, Troublemakers et Coasting Action. Merci beaucoup pour votre support. On se donne rendez-vous l'année prochaine et on se voit au bar du Mont Avila pour le party, l'after party officiel du 10e anniversaire du Ride Shakedown. présenté par Coors Light. Merci. Mon nom est Patrick Bernier et au nom de Brendan O'Dowd, on vous revoit l'année prochaine. Bye!